Welcome, everyone, to a beautiful Wednesday. It's a great day. Take command. Take command of the situation. Now, how do we take command of the situation? We take command of the situation by first defining what the situation is, whichever one we find ourselves to be in at that time. You look at it, you assess it, and you decide if it is unsavory or not. And when you take command of the situation, we use polarity. Where are you now, and what are you doing? So if you find that you feel overwhelmed, what would you prefer? Peace. I was reading Neville Goddard last night, and we are reminded that we don't need to force something to happen. We just need to allow it. Which means if you find yourself in a sticky situation, you simply, what is an image that represents the thing you would prefer to be? Pull up that image, whatever it might be, that allows you, when you look at it, you go, that's refreshing, that's nice. And you allow your body to feel the calm. Allow your body to feel the calm. It's a natural sensation. It's going to happen. You're going to feel it. Simply allow it. So you see, you take command by surrendering, to the desired outcome. Just what is it that you want to happen? We just decided what that thing was. Once you have decided what it is, surrender to it. Why surrender? You see, we think surrender means we're waving this white flag and we're giving up. No. Any gardener, I'm missing Flo Smiles this morning, any baker, when you follow the recipe, what are you doing? You're surrendering to it. You're not forcing it to happen. You're allowing the things that you put together to unfold. This is what we're doing. When we apply the law, we are surrendering to the outcome. What is that outcome? You know what it is. The easy suggestion is what Neville Goddard suggests to trigger this thing for you. What would it be like if? What would it be like if you were experiencing the desired outcome right now? You see, the moment you ask that question and you allow yourself to surrender to it, your body responds. Remember the law of correspondence, as above, so below. So the image in your mind creates the corresponding sensation in your body. Allow it to happen. See what it feels like. That is the true surrender. That is the taking command of the situation instead of looking at it and cowering in the corner. We don't cower. Never that. We stand firm. We don't just stand firm because, I must, because she said I should. No, we stand firm on the law. It is always there, and it is always bringing about the successful unfoldment of creation. We are in fall right now, whether you have fall or you just have 2 seasons. We're in a season. That season is the law of rhythm. It just simply unfolds. So when you look out the window in the morning and you see the frost, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the frost, but there it is. That rhythm is predictable. Could you imagine if summer was, wait, now? Unless you're in Australia, but I digress. We have come to rely upon the law and its predictability. It does it the same way every time. That's what will allow you to take command of your situation. You're not hoping. You're simply observing that the law is always on and it always happens. So, what does the law govern? It governs the creation. So, do you know what you want? You see, when you know what it is that you want, the seed is in the palm of your hand or the middle of your mind. This is why clarity is important. And remember, go back to your garden. The same way you decide upon what to plant, and you're clear about that, sit down and take the same time to be clear about the situation and how you want it to be. Remember, we're not dealing in the impossibility of something. The moment you hold the seed in your hand, life is possible because the seed contains life. So the thought that you hold, the new way you want your life to be, take command of that situation by simply reminding yourself, oh, this is what I want. This is what I'm wanting to create at this moment. Is it ease? Is it peace of mind? Well, what does it feel like? If you don't know what it feels like, it's okay. What does it look like? Somebody on YouTube somewhere is frolicking in wide open spaces and showing you an image of peace, showing you an image of calm. There's images everywhere. So find the image that best matches your outcome. Because now what you're saying to your body scientifically is, this is what I want it to look like. This is what I want to experience. And as I said yesterday, we do not pretend, we're not faking. The moment you hold that image, your body responds and asks, oh, so we're doing this? You reply, yes. You see, sometimes the body, you have to do a thing over and over and over again. How many times did you practice tying your laces on your shoes until you could just get up and not have to think about tying your shoes, but you just did? This is the purpose of practice. So when you begin to take command of a situation and you remind yourself that you rule the situation, I know on the outside it might look like we don't rule the situation. Of course, it looks like we don't. It looks like we don't. But the outside expression, the outside effect is there from an inner cause. As within, so without. Our task is to become aware of the inner cause, which is why the suggestion is to be deliberate. Be deliberate in your thoughts. It's very intriguing if we would but notice how we do things. The most popular example always will be, you ever thought about someone and they called you? Maybe you have not. Maybe you were thinking about your favorite food and you left the house and then bam, there it was. And have you ever said, oh wow, what a coincidence? Have you ever said that? How do you think that quote unquote coincidence got there? Well, you took command of a situation. You thought of it deliberately. You thought of it deliberately. So in order to change the external, we must practice being deliberate. When you are deliberate, you have taken command of the situation. You're not, well, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Well, what if I fail? You cannot fail. You are always successful. It is either you are always successfully doing the old thing, or you are always successfully doing the new thing. But either way, you are successful. You are successful, especially at the thing you practice. Remember, the design is there to assist us always to be successful. And this is why we take command of the situation. Do not allow yourself to languish. What do I mean? Don't allow yourself to sit there and go, oh, poor me. No. The situation is not showing up because it's beating you down. The situation is showing up because we have cast the shadow. We're the ones who projected it outward. And when we project that thing outward, it's not because we're bad. It's not because we're good. Not because we're indifferent. It's because we've given our attention to it. That's why you have an idea for a business. You sit there and you do what? You flesh it out. Oh, this would work well. Oh, that would work well. This would work well. Where are you doing this work? In your mind is where you're doing the work. You've taken command of the situation by being deliberate. You are deliberately thinking about the outcome, but you're not thinking just of the outcome. You're working through it. When you say, oh, I wonder what would work best here. Oh, and you go through and you think about it, you flesh it out, and more the image becomes clear. You have taken command of the situation. And then you launch it. And the feedback, what is the feedback? The feedback, now when people give you their feedback, they're giving you their opinion, yes. But they're giving you their opinion from their viewpoint, what they would prefer. What are you asking of them when they give their feedback? You're asking about the functionality of something. Does it work or does it not work? That's how you interpret the incoming feedback, as opposed to taking the feedback as, oh my God, they don't like what I do. Whether they like it or they don't like it is irrelevant. What was your initial goal or purpose? That's what it is. And you give a survey if that's what your business requires, because you're looking for the feedback. So you see the importance of feedback. The importance of feedback is not to beat you down or crush you. It is to show you what you're doing so you can say, oh, you know what? Maybe this part would work better over here, or that part over there. So the feedback is your experience. The feedback is your experience. Look at that experience and you learn from it. Not judge yourself. Think about how judgment makes you feel from within. Think about that for a moment. It doesn't make you feel like you can get up and go out there and do it. Especially the tone and the intent of that judgment. Some people like to call it constructive criticism. What is the intent of the criticism? See, always the intent. The reason why you do something is the intention. So when you take command of a situation, what is the intention? What is it that you want to accomplish? Do you want to learn? Do you want to teach? What is the purpose of that? So today, whatever it is that you might be dealing with, the law of polarity, neither being friend nor foe, it just simply wants the best because it only makes the best. Where are you now and what are you doing? If you write down what you're doing, And you can see it and you go, oh, you know what? I really don't like that. Then polarity asks, well, then, what would you prefer to be doing? Now you write that down. And when you write that new set of things down of what you would prefer to be doing, there's a sensation in your body. Remember what doubt is. Doubt is simply the feedback telling you you already believe something else. There's already a placeholder. So if that image in your mind conjures doubt, well, that's not possible. That's not going to happen. I've never done it before. I might not be good at it. Doubt. It's telling you, hey, these are all the things you believe about that thing. So to counter, you don't fight it. Surrender to the thing that you know is in your mind. You have taken command of it to say, this is what I am creating. And I know, according to nature, if I plant oranges, the fruit that comes out, well, will be orange. And when I squeeze it, fresh orange juice. Because as within, so without. So my image is clear. This is what I am recreating. And then your body should now conform to your new way. The doubt will be gone because you're not fighting doubt anymore. You're not looking at it. You are now confirming you planted this thing, this new way. So if you come upon a situation where it says, or it looks like this isn't going to go your way, oh, you met with a roadblock. The publisher says, go back, do it again. The designer, go back and do it again. I don't get a clear image. Feels like a roadblock, yes? It might feel like a roadblock, but it's not a roadblock. It is an opportunity for you to take command of the situation. How do you want it to unfold? You want everything to be A-okay and great and working in your favor? Then what will that look like? What will it look like? Because when you see it, then you'll know, oh snap, that is exactly what I wanted. What a coincidence. That's what we do when we take command of the situation. And you take command of a situation from a clear mind. Just a clear mind. Because now the emotions are not running rampant. But what if, I don't know, who do I call? Stop. Take a moment to sit and breathe. That will help you to clear the mind. Just take a moment to sit and breathe. You see, sometimes when you hear the phrase take command, you might want to think that that is forceful somehow. But no, it means simply defining how you want the situation to unfold. Well, here's what I want to happen. And you begin to list all those things. And you pay attention to the sensation in your body. And now as you go right in that mindset and you allow the body to feel what it's going to feel, remember, mirror neurons, just like the smile, right? You might not be the one smiling, but as long as you observe the smile, your body releases endorphins. It just does. According to science, it releases the endorphins because that's what a mirror does. A mirror, you watch yourself do something or you observe something being done. So whether you're the one doing it or someone else, you are always the observer. You are always the observer. So look at the thing you want to experience. But look at that thing from a place of, oh, snap. My mirror neurons are firing. They're working. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. And allow your body to fully immerse itself in that sensation. Because you know what we can do as humans, right? Mind over matter. We can look at that situation, and if we don't like the medium that it came to us, and we say, who you think you are? You don't know anything. Oh, you're inspirational. Please. You're just a woman. Please. You don't have anything to say, right? You override what was happening naturally in the body to assist you. So when you take command, you deliberately said, you know what? I can't even pull a smile from the depths of my body today. I just don't have it. But I would like the benefit of a smile. I would like to feel those endorphins just celebrate in my body. Then something will come. Whether it would be flowers, whether it would be the birds outside, whether it would be a cute puppy, who knows? But that thing, because you were deliberate to say, I want to feel those endorphins be released in my body, then it shows up for you. You took command of the situation. You see, polarity does not allow us to play the game of, I'm avoiding my feelings. Polarity does not allow for that. Because remember always, you will reap what you have sown. So you can't pretend you're not feeling it. You can't pretend. Come now. Polarity calls for you to always be honest with yourself. Don't honeycoat it, but don't judge it either. Simply acknowledge that it is there. Acknowledge that you are doing something that just doesn't feel quite right. That's not what you want. Acknowledge it. Because from that acknowledgement, now you can get clarity for what you do want. But if you lie to yourself, then you will plant the incorrect seeds. Some people call it contrast. Always be honest with yourself. If you feel crummy, acknowledge it. Don't try and pretend, oh, no, I don't. No, acknowledge it. Acknowledge that bad boy. And then decide, do you want to stay in that feeling or not? Simple as that. You see, it may seem like I am just saying it to be all airy, fairy unicorns and confetti. I don't deal in unicorns and confetti. I deal with the law. The law tells you the all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. Everything starts between the ears. One of these days I'll say something else that's just so trippy. It is, everything starts between the ears. A thought. Oh, I would like to. I wonder if. A thought. And then a whole bunch of things begin to unfold from that thought. So to be deliberate and take command of the situation will help you a great deal. Oh, but I just don't know, Angela. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. I don't know if I can do it. Remember, if you have an image of something, that's what makes it possible. But Angela, I don't have any money. Do you know what it is that you want? I'm not dealing in hopes and dreams here. I'm dealing in fact. Go out to your garden and look at that empty space. You can do nothing with it except for, dig it up until you decide what it is you want to harvest. So when you look at that space and you go, blueberries would look really good in this spot. What do? Go out and you get blueberry bushes. And you plant them. Because you know that you planted them. You know you're going to get a season. Now, with blueberries and raspberries, they take a while to mature. Like asparagus, 3 years. And then you can get asparagus. You see, so when you plant asparagus and things like raspberry and blueberries, what have you done? You have committed to the outcome. You've committed yourself to it. That's how it takes 3 years for asparagus. 3 years. Ugh, can you imagine? But now you have committed to it. So not that you know how long it takes. You're not out there every day talking about, where's my asparagus? That's not what you're doing. But you have committed because you have chosen what it is you say you want to experience. So are you going to follow through? Or are you going to throw in the towel because, well, no clients are coming? No clients are coming, so maybe I suck. Is that what we're going to do? We're going to entertain that? Or will you get out polarity? What is your ideal client? I will keep telling it to you till you do it. Your ideal client will match you. It is always going to be according to you. Well, how do you plant the garden? According to what you want to eat or what your family wants to experience. See, it's always going to be you. So your ideal client, do you know what that looks like? You see, because when you are clear with the ideal clientele, now you know how to do what? Target. But if you don't have an ideal, if you don't have, what are you going to do? You don't know. You see, naming the ideal client is the cause. The effect is your marketing to bring them to you because now you know how to reach them. But if you are not clear, if you don't take command of the situation to be clear about what it is that you are wanting to create, how can you recreate it? You must have a blueprint. You work it and work it out in your mind until the blueprint becomes clear. That's where a lot of the work goes, into gaining clarity. So I know sometimes we can feel overwhelmed by the things that we are going through. I know this. You think, I don't have things? I wish I could sit here and say, I ain't got no problems. But what I can sit here and tell you is, when I see my problem, I see my solution. That I can tell you. That's what it is. Why? Because I have determined that that is what I will live my life to be. Oh, look, there's a problem. Solution. Take command of your life experiences by, one, being deliberate. What do you want? What harvest do you want to bring in? Plant accordingly. How does it feel in your body? Because the law of correspondence, as above, so below. The thought in your mind will have a corresponding sensation in your body. What does that feel like? Is it telling you, I'm ready, let's go? Or is it saying, one moment, please. You seem to have a prior belief. Doubt. That's what that would be. Which one of those things? If you are already confirming, run with it. But if you experience doubt, don't say to yourself, you see, I knew it would never happen. It's just telling you, wait, you believe something else already. Do you want to keep that belief or do you want to change it? And that's when you say, new belief initiated. Bring out the new belief. And just like a small child, show your body what this new belief is day in and day out. Why? Because you're telling it how to behave. What do you think practice is? Practice is you telling your body how you want it to behave. You're showing it what to do. You're doing the same thing the same way every time. You are telling your body, this is what I want. Like this. Do it like this. Your body learns. It is adaptive. So teach it. Take command of the situation and teach it. Because when one teaches to learn, you're teaching your body, but you're also learning about yourself now. When you teach your body what it is you say you are, now you begin to learn about your own self. This is what you're doing. What do you think we're doing all day, every day? Learning about ourselves. That's because that's where everything stems from. Oh, really, Angela? Everything stems from the self? Yes. Yes, it does. Whatever is contained within the self, you must see the evidence of it. The fruit you must bear. I don't believe you, Angela. Well, okay. Go plant corn. What's the evidence that's within the corn? You'll see it. As high as the elephant's eye. Corn. That's what's contained within the seed. You are the seed, you know. So what are you planting? Day in and day out. What's coming out of your mouth? What's going on inside your mind? Begin to take command of that. Don't just, you see, we live by way of memories, you know. We pull up, you can go somewhere, and for me, if I hear a big bark, you know, like a mastiff or a pit bull, my body says, girl, how far away is that dog and can you outrun it? All from a simple memory. And that's how we live. So if you go somewhere, you smell something that reminds you of your childhood in a good way. Now the mind is gone off in the memory and you're frolicking. But if we are deliberate and take command of our minds, we become the ones. You know, now you'll have the memory, but you'll say, that's a memory, I'm good. And you do not allow the memory to cause you to act in a particular way. Unless, of course, that memory is one that you want. It is beautiful to you and you'd like to do it again, well, then run with that. But if a memory brings fear, anger, angst, whatever the case may be, something that is undesirable, now because you are aware that you're having that thought, you can take command and say, that's not what I want. That's the past. I live here and now. So you see, there's something to be said for taking command of your life. There is peace when you take command of your life, you know. Because you know every cause has its effect and every effect its cause. So if you are the cause, you can predict the effect. You always are going to know the outcome. If you mix vinegar and baking soda, we know the effects of that. Chemistry 101. Cause and effect, you can predict it. You know exactly what it is. So take command today. Look at the thing that you're going through. Just look at it. Where are you now and what are you doing? Polarity. Where would you prefer to be? What would you prefer to be doing? If you practice that simple thing, you will find that life becomes simpler to maneuver through. Because you will look at situations and you will not allow your emotions to run amok. Sometimes, if you can imagine, we are holding on to that thing for dear life and it's dragging us. That emotion is dragging us all over the place. Nah, cut that string. You get up and you dust your knees off and you say, okay, okay, okay. Okay, what is it that I want to experience? I am the captain of my own ship. Hmm? What is it that you want? So if you say to me, well, Angela, I wouldn't prefer to captain my ship. I'd like to be chauffeured. Oh, so that means a life of ease. Well, then now you're getting somewhere. You want a life of ease. It means, well, I want to be chauffeured. I want to be pampered. What does that look like? Begin to write those things down, but most importantly, feel what it does to your body. And when you feel it, as long as it's the feeling that corresponds, there's no doubt, then begin to immerse yourself in that feeling that's in your body, that's telling you, oh, so this is what it's like to be chauffeured. You know what that also means? You'll always be on time. Oh, yes. But you have to take command. Because even if you are chauffeured, you still have to give your driver the itinerary. Where do you want to go? You still have to tell him. So you see, at the end of everything, the responsibility rests solely with you. The responsibility rests solely with you. And that is a beautiful thing, is it not? How nerve-wracking would it be to get into the car and say, hello, George. Thanks for picking me up this morning. And you just sit there. George is looking at you. You're looking at George, and you don't know where you're going. George will wait for you to say, take me here. You must always give the directive. You must always take command, which means you must know your own mind. Because if you don't know your own mind, somebody will come along and give you their mind. And, well, never a good place to be that, because you don't know their intent. But if you give yourself your own direction, you know the intention for yourself, do you not? Knowing the intent for yourselves brings you peace of mind. It brings you ease. It brings you comfort because you know what it is that you want to accomplish. You know the destination. That. Lord, 38 minutes. Let's welcome everyone into the space, shall we? Sometimes you have to open your eyes, but it's bright on my devices. Who's on Twitter this morning? L. Yoda Burger, V22, Geck. I know I saw Jeff. I'm sure I did. Welcome, Twitter, to the space. It is lovely to see you on this Wednesday morning, isn't it? It's good to see you. Who's on Fanbase? Oh, Lady Silver. Hello. Hello, Jonathan. Miss Deborah. The Lord. Hallelujah. The Lord. Bernetta. My Melanin. Comrade Zeesty. Oracle Treehouse. Ooh, I get to do it. Summer Rose. Flo Smiles. Miss McQueen. Yolanda Zola. It is so good to see you all here this morning. What a pleasure and a privilege it is to be with you. Facebook, Indy is here. And who's on YouTube in the chat? Shea Butter is here. Anod is here. Goddess Pure Diamond, hello, honey. I don't remember saying your name yesterday either, but I'm saying it now. And my omnipresent Sugar Visions. Cyber. I'm coming back to answer that question for you. Sonia. Joaquin is here again. Marjorie. You are the ones who've made yourselves known in the chat. Welcome. And for the others who have not made themselves known, I see you. And for the replay gang, hooty-hoo, I see you. Cyber asks, Angela, could you discuss the seeming contradiction of dropping it to plant the seed and persisting in the assumption until it hardens into fact. But of course, go back to your garden, shall we? When you put the seed in the ground, you're dropping it to plant. You cover it over, you water it, the sun hits it, right? The little earthworms are doing their thing, and the ants are doing their thing by aerating the soil and allowing that seed to breathe. And then little roots begin to pop out. Now, persisting in the assumption would be you getting up and going out every morning, watering it. That's what you're doing. Making sure that there aren't any weeds that popped up overnight, but you are watering it. You're making sure to nurture it, fertilizing it. That's what you're doing when you, in your mind, you drop the seed and you're persisting in the assumption would be, why would you not persist, right? You're persisting because you are watering and nurturing. Why? Because your harvest is dependent upon you nurturing it, watering it. That's how the thing survives out there. As long as you've domesticated it, you plant it, weed, fertilize, and yes, you talk to it. Those actions are persisting in the assumption. You planted it under the assumption that this is what you're going to eat. This is what you're going to harvest. That is the assumption that you planted those seeds under. So in order to persist with it, you water, weed, and feed. That's what you do. That is the persistence. So when you speak to yourself, your mental conversations, because mentally now you use the law of correspondence. As above, so below. Below you water, weed, and feed the seeds in the garden. Mentally, which is above, the inner conversations now become the water, the sunlight. The plucking of the weeds is getting rid of, look at that. I'm doubting. No, I can't doubt. I'm persistently watering this, which means your inner conversations are always going to be along the lines of the preparation of, okay, is this thing ready? Because once this harvest comes in, I got to be ready over here, over there, over there. And you begin to prepare. Like I said yesterday, when you're canning, you know the peaches are coming in. So you got all your jars. You're making sure that your seals are working. So you go out and you get new seals. Why? You are preparing. All of that preparation is the persisting in your assumption. That's what it means to persist. You don't just plant the seed and just, hope for the best. No. You weed, feed, and entertain the seeds. You talk to them. So now, mentally above, what is the inner conversation going to sound like? Okay, you know what? This is ready. Yep, I'm ready to go over here. Who, depending on what it is you've planted, who am I going to invite? Who's the first person I'm going to tell? And you begin to rehearse what you're going to tell them. You begin to rehearse. Why would you rehearse? Why would you rehearse your inner conversation? You rehearse your inner conversation with the assumption that you will be performing it. So design your invitations. Design your invitations. Prepare your acceptance speech. And you know in the beginning you have to read it off the paper, yes? But the more you read it off the paper, the more you commit it to memory. Until you can get up and say it and have it move you because you've practiced it incessantly. That is how, as above, we water and nurture our minds with our inner conversations to bring about the thing. And physically, as below, weed, feed, and entertain your plants. Cyber, does that answer your question? Yes, Marjorie. Neville and the Abdullah story for Barbados. Neville wanted to go to Barbados and didn't have any money. His words, not mine. He said he had 5 cents to his name. And he wanted to go to Barbados. And he said to Abdullah, uh, well, how am I going to get there? Abdullah says, you are already in Barbados and you went first class, and he slams the door. Everybody laughs at that story. That's what Abdullah told Neville. You went to Barbados first class. You're in Barbados and you went first class. That's what he told him. And wouldn't you know it, Neville walked the streets as if he were in Barbados. He walked the streets of New York, I think is where he was. He walked the streets as if he were in Barbados. His whole attitude changed. He went to bed at night and he imagined himself sleeping in his bed in Barbados. And wouldn't you know it, his brother sends him a ticket for the steamliner, because that's what they had back in the day. You had to go by boat. And wouldn't you know, here comes his ticket in the mail. What did he do? He got his mind. So he knew what he wanted. He took command of the situation. Well, Abdullah took command of the situation for him, actually. This is how we can help one another. By seeing the best for someone. That's what Abdullah did for him. It is a most beautiful thing to take command of the situation. Take command of it. You already, as soon as you have chosen the seed to plant, you have your harvest. Or else, why would you plant the seed to begin with? You planted it because you want to experience the harvest. But Angela, what if this stuff doesn't grow? Did you plant one seed or many? This is why the inner conversation is important. Plant the seed. Take command of what you want your life to be like. If you say, I want my life to be easy, okay, what does that look like? Remember, it's a personal shopper. If you want to give it a personality, the law. You say, oh, I want my life to be easy. What does that look like? What does it look like? What does easy life look like? You know, I get up when I want to. I cook all my favorite things. I have great friends. What? You don't leave it to chance. Funny thing, there is no chance. There is the law of rhythm, though. There's no chance. That is how you take charge or command of your situation. Be honest with yourself on what it is that you want. And know, so long as you have that seed, whether it be as above, so below, whether it's that seed mentally or the seed physically, so long as you have the seed and you plant it, then you have the harvest. If you just have the seed, you have the potential of a harvest. But plant the seed. And now you remove the potential and give it surety. That's what I'll say about that today. Let me get the bowl. Let me pull up the recording of the bowl. But before I do that, last night I gave it a test run. I believe starting in October, I'll be reading to people. You know, just reading. So if you have a book you want read, you want to hear a book, slide into my DMs. Just slide into my DMs. As long as that book resonates, though, I will say that. As long as the book resonates. But then again, the book will always resonate, won't it? Because that is my command. Any book suggestion that I get always resonates with me in a beautiful way. Because that is what allows me to read it authentically to you. So I'll be bringing that. I don't know the time yet, but stay tuned. I'll let you know. Let me get the bowl. Hold on, y'all. Let me get the bowl. Again, the bowl always sounds better on YouTube, but remain as you are, and you'll hear it nonetheless. Oh, there it is. Let me slide these parts up here. You so very much, everyone, for being here on this lovely Wednesday morning. Gek El Yoderberger. Thank you for being here on Twitter. Much love to you all. Twitter is closed. YouTube. Oh, let me get this part. YouTube, I love you all, and I will see you again soon, my beautiful friends, soon.